to raise creators with positive impact. My name is Daramala Asmao, and I'm your host for today. But before we get into introducing our speaker and reading our bio, we would like to appreciate our sponsors. Thank you.
Welcome to Debo Africa, modern healthcare built by women for women. We get it. Life can be hectic and unpredictable. We know what it's like to push back a much needed health check for months because of family or work or because you just haven't found the right healthcare providers. Debo Africa was founded by African women because we understand the unique needs and challenges they face, and we believe that all African women deserve access to better healthcare, no matter who we are. With our virtual medical consultations, we have bridged the gap between your busy life and your healthcare. At Debo Africa, you can easily access expert medical advice from our community of Debo doctors whenever you need it, without compromising on the quality of care. Join us on our mission to empower African women and transform healthcare.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Good evening, everyone, once again. And thank you so much, Asmao, for introducing our session today. I hope we've all been having fun since day one. Parents, please, if you have enjoyed day one till day three, can we please in the chat box see your responses or get your reactions? You can give us a thumbs up, you can do the clapping. We just want to know that we've been impacting you since Monday and that you have been enjoying what we have put together for you this year, and that it has also been something that is going to be helpful for you and your children. Please let us see that. Thank you so much. Please keep the reactions coming. We need to know that we're doing something right. Thank you, thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you so much, Asma, for also introducing the session today. My name is Mariam. Together with Asma, we'll be leading you through the conversations today. For the next 90 minutes, you will definitely be having a swell time. You will definitely be learning. You will definitely be empowered, and you will definitely go home a more enlightened parent than you came in here today. And this is a guarantee from PTS 2026 this year to you all. We want to talk about the ethics of disruption and how you can raise creators for positive impact. Now, a lot of us parents, we've always thought about how the creative world is beginning to shape thinking, innovation. It is literally calling the shots in a lot of sectors and industries. And very naturally, we want our children to be a part of that world. Is that correct? Do we want our children to be a part of the creators world? Please help us to enjoy this session. We're begging you. Reactions are fine, chat box is fine, whichever works for you. If you want to also unmute and speak, please just raise your hand and feel free. We're happy to call you to speak. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Raimot. Thank you. Yes, I can see the reactions. So, yes, we want to talk about that today. We want to understand what it means to raise children who are creators and also to help them understand the why behind the disruption. We don't just want children who would break the status quo. We want them to understand why they are doing what they do and also to do it with positive impact. And who else or who better to do that conversation with us today than Coach Mutiat herself. Asma, I would like if you would read the bio of the coach for us so that we know the person who's going to be leading us through this conversation for the next 90 minutes. And our parents are also super excited. Parents, please, as we usher our coach on stage, we would like you to give her a resounding welcome, typical of the PTS parents, please, a resounding welcome so that Coach Muchat knows that she's in a room filled with energetic parents and parents who are ready to get the best for their things and their children. Over to you, Asmal.
Thank you, Mrs. Mariam. Our coach's name is Coach Mutiat Olagoke, and our bio goes thus. Coach Mutiat Olasunbo Olagoke, FPMC, CBCN, FIPMA, is an award-winning social entrepreneur, certified business coach, communication expert, behavioral management, and soft skills coach, publisher, author, and public speaker with over 17 years of experience empowering entrepreneurs, children, and purpose driven individuals to grow with confidence and excellence. She is the founder and CEO of Ibret Media Limited and a convener of Muslim Speaks Tribe, where she equips women with practical tools for business, growth, leadership, communication, and personal development. Through coaching, training, and mentorship, she has impacted thousands of lives across Nigeria and beyond. Fondly known as the Queen of Awesomeness, Mutiat is passionate about helping people discover their potential. Please join me in welcoming Coach Mutiat Olagoke. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you hear me? Can we hear him?
Yes, ma, we can hear you, ma.
Yes, Queen of Awesomeness, we can hear you. We are so excited to hear you speak.
Please join us in welcoming the Queen of Awesomeness herself. Clock it.
Thank you. I'm deeply honored. Allow me to share my slides because I was just saying it on my status that if you people call a graphic designer to come and do presentation, there will be hyper. There will be hyper. I even went to go and design the slides here so that it looks good. So good evening, everyone. My name is Mutiat Olagoke. You can call me coach because I actually pay 6 figures for that certification. And every year they collect a renewal. So please, by all means, Coach Mutiat Olagoke. And today I've been asked to talk about the ethics of disruption, how to raise creators for positive impact. And when I saw the topic, I thought, why did they give me this topic? How did I fit into this? And as someone who has become infamous for corrupting Muslim women to use social media and put themselves out there, I think I should definitely be the one to talk about this. I've also been working with children. In fact, the very first product that we sold at Great Media was Kiddies Digest, and the goal was to inspire the next generation of great minds. And we continue to do that through our work with women and their children through training, publishing competition in the last 17 years of doing this. So yes, I do understand that, especially being a creator myself and having practically all my siblings and every child that grew up in my house tagged a creator. So I fit the bill. They read my bio, so we can just jump into it. So the first question I want to ask, and it's a rhetorical question. What if the young person that's sitting beside you, the child that you have eating dinner beside you right now, is not just a consumer of social media? It's not just, we think about the way technology is affecting everybody, and we think about how, oh, I need to protect my children from the effect of technology. I need to ensure that they leverage technology. What if your children don't even need protecting, and they are the ones we need to protect other children from? What if they are the one that will create the disruption that other people will leverage on? So when we sit down and we talk about social media, technology, and all of that, we talk about it like, all those children out there. You know how you talk about peer pressure, and you're saying, don't be bad, don't befriend bad friends. So when you get to school, don't move with bad friends. What if your children are the bad friends? I mean, may I allow me to say this in Yoruba? Or how do I say that? Those bad children are somebody's children. Those creators online, the ones that are influencing thought, they are somebody's children. The ones starting the TikTok trends are somebody's children. And I don't think any parent sits anywhere and think that, what if my child is the creator that I need to protect other people's children from? I don't think any parents have ever thought about that. We always think about, oh, protecting our children from a nameless, faceless evil somewhere. God forbid. But in this case, I'm not even going to say that what if your children are the evil. I'm saying that what if your children are not just the consumer? What if they are the creators of it? The people who will create the content that will be consumed. And that's the conversation that we're having today, because it's not enough to talk about how to protect our children from the ills of the society and how to get them to leverage what other people are creating. We must also talk about what happens when our children are the creators. What happens? Because we are raising young children in a world where anyone can publish, anyone can broadcast, anyone can build an audience, and anyone can become influential. And for somebody who used to be one of those anyone, I am telling you that this conversation tonight is very important. It is one that I hope that at the end of the night, you sit with yourself and think about it. Because when I started my business in 2009, right after coming from service, I finished service on the 26th of February. I remember because 28th is my brother's 9th birthday, and got on the bus that same night. I was in Badon by the 27th of February, and 3rd or so of March, I was at the CAC's office registering the idea that I came home with. And so before the end of March, by the 24th of March, I was in Lagos with a business partner signing the form that we're going to go and submit at CAC. By April 27th, so you can see one month after, by 27th of April, was it 27th or 25th? Was the weekend. Monday was 27th, so it was most likely 25th of April 2009. I had been able to publish a children magazine that will end up becoming, of course, on the 25th of March 2009, I only sold 1 copy to 1 child. But by the time I was resting the physical copy of the magazine in 2017, we had reached over 10,000 children across the Southwest, Abuja, and Kano. We not only have published the magazine, we had a spelling competition that's gone across the Southwest. We had a debate competition that pioneered debate competition for children in primary school. What is my point? My point is that if at 2009, I could easily publish a newspaper for children that any child, which gives me influence, because the more your children have exposure to it, the more the influence. Now, social media and the internet has become so accessible that even cost me money and time to do the magazine, to publish it. It took me months. It took me, what, 3 months? It took me about 2 months from I'm registering this business to going to the National Library, to all of that. Your children don't need less of that time to become influential. The influence that I built in 10 years can be gained on TikTok with just one viral post. So again, I go back to my question. What if the young person sitting beside you today is not just the consumer of the future, but one of the people who will create it? I think my parents would never imagine in their lives that their child will be a publisher. In fact, they tried they tried to dissuade me from doing it. And just this afternoon, I will send my mom that, don't worry, you're better than that person. You are the mother of Queen of Awesomeness. Is their child awesome like your own? You are the one whose child has clout and awesomeness. And then we were laughing. Today, all the long journey that it took us to get here, the children don't need that much. They don't need money. They don't need a printer. They just need one viral post. But here's where the topic gets in. Even though they can get viral with just one, and it doesn't have to be a fantastic post. In fact, when you go to TikTok, for instance, some of the posts that get viral, they're very rubbish posts. They're not, even the video quality of some of these posts are not even fantastic. So when you look at some of the backgrounds, I mean, people are creating content from one-bedroom apartments, uncompleted building, all over the country. And still, people are making eba with sardine and pouring omo inside it and going viral for it. So that your children will not only be the one we need to protect against such influence. The children can be creators. But here's where the whole thing turns, where we bring it back to the topic, is that the ability to get attention is not the same thing as the ability to create impact. So the difference between the children going viral for dancing their heads off on TikTok and me, who decided that I wanted to raise mini-me's who will find themselves wherever they found themselves and still stand out because they had sense. The difference between me, who started to publish a children's magazine because I wanted to support parents to raise children with sense, and the child who's going to go viral because she can do a routine on TikTok, is that attention versus impact. Getting attention doesn't mean that the child is impactful. And if I ask any one of us tonight, what kind of child, what we hope that our children would be known for? Would they be known for attention seekers, for attention seeking, or for impact? I'm certain that practically everybody here will say they want their children to be known for impact. And if that's why you've come here tonight, that's what we're going to talk about. So to get into it, the question is not whether young people will influence the world. The truth is, they already are influencing the world. They are already the biggest influencers. They are the biggest influencers right now. I mean, those of us millennials, that we already know that our time have passed. The stage now belongs to the Gen Zs and even the Gen Alpha. And I remember making just on my status last week that, don't worry, Gen Alpha has started entering university, Gen Z, you too. All the things that you did to us, our children are coming to do to you too. The stage will soon, the baton will soon be passed to Gen Alpha too. All this attention that you people are getting, don't worry, Gen Alpha is come to collect it, because that's the way of the world. We will continue to pass on the baton. And right now, the Gen Zs and the Gen Alpha are the influencers. It doesn't mean that some of us older generations are not influential or we don't have clout, but Yoruba people will say asiko, abi, asiko, olgaluku. This is their time. This is the time to be young and reckless and restless. This is their time. So the question that we must ask ourselves right now about our children and the influence they're having is that, what kind of influence do they have? They have influence, but what kind of influence will your children have when they eventually are in charge of the world? The Gen Alpha that I was boasting are coming to take the crown away from the Gen Zs, when it becomes their own time too, what would we say about them? Because there's been a lot of, oh, Gen Z this, Gen Z that, Gen Z that. That's because your children are not Gen Zs. For those of us that, oh, your children are still young, right? They're still teenagers. When their own time comes, just as the Gen Z's time have come, what kind of influence will they have? And it is not too late to start, it's not too late for us to start shaping that influence. I believe that's what the essence of this conversation tonight. So, parenting ethical creators in a world that rewards attention is the disruption. I looked at the topic and I'm like, how do I bring this together? I don't want to define disruption because I'm sure that I'm talking to very intelligent people who know what disruption is. But bringing all of the topic together is that you parenting ethical creators, because whether you like it or not, your children are going to be creators. They live in a world of content creation. That's the world they have found themselves. Just as my father found himself in a world of letter writing. And even until this day, he misses letter writing. He talks about it like something glorious. It is glorious for those of us that can write well. But for people who struggle with writing or finding their words, oh, good riddance. They're so happy to have AI right now. Your children live in this world. This is what their world is about. This is their own normal. So parenting them to not just be creators, but ethical minded creators is what the disruption is now. And why is it a disruption? Because a lot of parents don't even know what to do. So children are just doing whatever they like. It's young people thing. It's young people, they're the one that know. For most of these parents, it's their children that are teaching them how to use the gadget, how to use the phone, how to use social media, how to open the email. Every time my father can't find his password, he's calling me. Why? Why is he calling me? And why should I know his password? Because I opened the email for him in 2010. Also 16 years after, I'm responsible for it. And that's my father should be 70 this year or thereabout. Yet we have parents my age whose children are teaching how to use social media. So how do you parent a child who's parenting you? So for those of us that are ready to do the work, when we start to do the work, we are going to be the disruptors, because most parents are not even doing anything at all because they don't have an idea of what to do. This young person has something that all of us didn't have, and I explained that earlier. They have a global microphone. A teenager can wake up today, create a video from their bedroom, and a lot of them are doing it, and potentially reach thousands of people. And sometimes the content can go so viral that it reaches millions of people. And that's very powerful. It's very powerful. Powerful in a way that a dynamite is powerful. You know what a dynamite is? Yes. Those bomb. I mean, it's not bomb, but I think that's the best way to describe it. Banger that can bomb. Social media has made it possible for anybody to create without expertise, speak without understanding, influence without maturity. You can go viral without responsibility. Like, I hope you understand what I'm saying. There's some things that I teach social media marketing. So there are just some things that go viral. You'll be like, no, Allah, no matter below. They're just people who get attention for nonsense. And you're wondering, is it that the entire country just like nonsense? Perhaps. People have followers without character. You know, when Bobrisky when he was still in the country and he was always trending every other month, and everybody's like, every single person you meet talks bad about him. But yet Bobrisky at some point had 3 million followers. And everybody is talking bad about him. Well, there are people talking bad about me still, but still, let's even say that I'm a slightly well-behaved citizen of the country. At that time, I'm not sure I had up to 10,000 followers. I didn't. Everybody shouting, Pella, Pella, Pella. He doesn't understand English. Pella, Pella, Pella. He doesn't go to school. Pella, 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 Pella. Do you know how many followers he has? And all of us are laughing about it. Like, on serious space. I'm trying to check how many followers because I don't know. But still, and you think that there's no fire on the mountain to give somebody whom we all say doesn't 16.9 million followers on TikTok. 16.9 million. President of this country, how many followers does he have? 16.9 million of young people, of your children. So somebody that every other week we're saying bad thing about him. In fact, they made him the face of Olodo uprising. And we're saying that he's the leader of the Olodo uprising that we're going through, that there's an intellectual deficiency in young people. But then there's a young person who's not an expert, whose character is questionable, whose so many things, education is limited, but has 16.9 million followers. That is powerful. It is powerful. It is powerful. But power without wisdom can become dangerous. And tonight we're not talking about Pella's or Bobrisky's influence on your children. We're talking about, instead of complaining about those influence, why don't we start raising children who will have 16.9 million followers and will be well rested? We will be well assured that we can reach out to this person and it will make positive impact in the society. So gradually, without noticing, the culture around visibility and influence has started to change right in front of us. Today, when young people go viral, people ask, how many views? And that's where the problem is. Everybody's concerned about, oh, how many people are following? Even us, the so-called adults that are calling it Olodo uprising, when they meet these young people, they rate them more than they rate those of us with 13,000 followers. They see them as special. They are willing to pay them more money than they will give me to talk about their brand. And so we are wondering why the problem is. The young people have power, but we continue to give them power with the mumu questions we ask. How many views? What has that got to do with what the conversation is contributing to the polity or to our problem as a whole? We're thinking, how many followers does this have? Hey, he has 500,000 followers. Let's not even go to people like Bella that have millions. Let's go to people, people doing the work. You will see when people come out to say, oh, I trusted this person with my money, but she disappointed me. Why? Because she had 200,000 followers. Was that enough to say that she could do it? But then you hear that Muti has been doing this for 17 years. But instead of you to trust by 17 years and not the certificate and the certification, no, his followers they are using to decide whether you should listen to me. When did we go from there? That's the world we live in. How much money do they make? And this one is not even a social media problem. It's a Nigerian problem. We, all of us, are responsible for this particular one. We rate people by how rich they are. Yes. True or true? We rate people, all of us, if the person has small money like this, we are rating them. Do you think our children are not watching? You don't see the way we treat the rich family member? Compared to that brother who's respectful and does everything and shows up for us. The way we treat those ones. One of the things I found out recently is just how, as a people, when we feel we have more money than somebody, we treat them rubbish. That's the culture that we have. And it's passing on to social media. There's one argument I keep having with one of my big sisters, who's always about creators are polluting our children. Social media is killing our children. I insist that what we see on social media is a mirror of the society that we live in. Social media is just a television for who we have been before it. Perhaps some of the things you see are shocking, but they've always existed. That's my position. And I say it all the time, and I'm like, instead of blaming social media for the way your children are, personally, I just think you should just do the work at home. Stop blaming social media for the way your children are. We as a people are being like this. How much money does she have? My friends live in one of the biggest states in Korea, and she said she drives this Lexus car that looks like a spaceship. Body new, cha-cha. And then she says every time she drives a Lexus, the guys at the gate don't greet her. But then one day she drove her husband's Mercedes-Benz, and everybody's greeting her from afar. That's the country we live in. That's the country we live in. That's who we are. That's who we are. So nobody is asking, who is this? What kind of person is she? The guy is fine. She's good enough. So what are the ethics of disruption that we need to instill in our children, not only as consumers, but as creators? What are the ethics? It's a simple formula that I have, because this 90 minutes that they gave me, it's a lot of pressure. I already knew that I wasn't going to use 90 minutes. It's a lot of pressure. There are 5 questions every young creator should learn to ask before they create, publish, sell, build, or lead. And these are 5 questions we want to ask them when they come to us to say, Mommy, I want to post this. Mommy, or you saw what they post and you want to have a conversation with them at home about it. Why do you do this? I'm in my big age of 40. And sometimes my father still calls me to say, that thing you posted. And every time that happens, I'm like, why? Why? Of course, I have parents that are very particularly, God bless them, they're very attentive. So I'm currently going a little bit viral on my Instagram right now. Since the start of the weekend, there's a post about me that is at 100,000 views right now. And the night that the post dropped, when I got to that post, it was just about 1,000 views. I copied the link, took it to my WhatsApp community, told everybody, oh, yeah, go and watch the video. Let's make this video bang, bigger than all the videos on their page. At that time, I'd not checked the page to see that they had some videos that have done well. And there was one that had 200,000 views. But I was so sure of myself that we're going to make this video bang. Queen of us of there is not beautiful. So right now the video is out of it. My video is the second most watched video on it's on that page. And I didn't know I was this competitive, because I'm like, that 200,000, we must break it. Anyways, back to the gist. So I put this video there on my status, went to bed, and then my father called me the next morning, and I knew it had to do with my video. Now, that particular video, they took a lot of things out of context just to draw attention, right? That's to go viral. That was the intention. And so when I saw my father's call, like, hey, I've said something in vulnerability that my father have not watched the whole YouTube video is about to lecture me about why, what, all the questions that I'm about to tell you are questions that my father holds me accountable to. Some of them, he does it from an archaic perspective of what to share and what not to share, but I appreciate the accountability. So when I picked the call and he said, that's Guinea, was it a television station? I was just like, yes. I was waiting for the ball to drop. And then he got to a place and he said, the production is really nice. You were very fine in that video. Okay. And let me tell you, the way my parents raised me, I'm not somebody that looks for external validation. So it wasn't his validation. I wasn't waiting for his validation. In fact, I didn't want his call. Let him just be minding his business. But it felt good to hear it still. So when he said, I knew I'm not sure I has watched the entire 40 minutes of the podcast. I said, oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. So when he said it, and he didn't say, why do you go and mention that? Why do you go and say that? Just said, this is nice. The production was really nice. Say, hey, that's what I'm telling you. We need to look for bigger television for you. Your voice is, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And it felt good. It felt good. But let me tell you, my father was still the same person who called me and told me that rubbish Loban post. Do you know what I posted? I posted how to keep your socks so that you don't lose your socks. My father called me and said, how can you be talking about underwear in public? I said, which underwear? The socks. Is your socks not underwear? I did not know that socks was underwear until that day. I said, socks. You mean socks that we wear to school? Say, hey, how can you be talking about washing your socks? It's like you same thing as talking about washing your pants. So in my father's baby boomer age, I don't know, is he a baby boomer, I think? Apparently, socks is underwear. And he made such a big deal out of it that I called his wife and I said, I will block the two of you. And she said, why will you block us? Immediately she said that, I knew that the two of them are on the same page. They are on the same page. They've gossiped about me in their parlor before my father called me. And I said, I will block the two of you because I realized that if I block only my father and I don't block you, the two of you are always sitting together. You will see the status on your phone. You will say, can you see what Muti is posting on your phone? So the two of you are going to be responsibly blocked together. I tell you, you cannot block us. You must not block us. You must not block us. And since that day they've been. But again, I say, it is such an honor to have parents like that. And I hope to God that I am such a parent to my own children too, and that you will be to your children. Yes, it does seem a little bit of a nuisance, especially because I know what I'm doing, but having accountability goes a long way to also remind you of what you're doing, knowing that I cannot just say anything. There are some stories I can't just share because I know if my father should hear it. On Sunday, I went to teach emotional intelligence for one of the MSS area council. And I was going to answer a very delicate question that was very important. And I asked, luckily the room wasn't so large. The people in the audience were not plenty. So I said, please, everybody should turn their phone on. I'm about to gossip about my grandmother and I don't want it recorded because it must not end up on social media. My parents are on Instagram and Facebook. This must not end up on social media. Please, everybody should turn off your camera. So the things that I share and why I share them, I'm also considerate of the people who will hold me accountable. So I hope that you're building relationship where your children feel responsible to the accountability you hold them to. But even if they tell you we don't care, at the back of their minds, they actually do. I will always tell my parents that, see, everything I post, I know what I'm doing. I'm using it to make money. Shebi, your one is to eat earlier, and I should buy you each clothes. Don't disturb me, oh. If you want to be collecting money from me, but even at that, they still hold me accountable to whatever they think is not aligning with the values they know me to uphold and they have raised me to uphold. So these are the 5 questions you want to teach your children to become part of their corps. And it is what you use to hold them accountable to. Because I think for some of us, it's not that we don't want to hold them accountable, but we don't even understand this enough to know. So when you tell them, don't do it, and the children say, why? And then you don't know how to answer it. Just say, because I'm your mother. That's not enough. You can't tell a 21-year-old or a 40-year-old like myself that I don't post it because I'm my mother. So, for me, in my own case, according to even the law of Islam, I'm officially an adult now. They shouldn't tell me anything. So, and officially from the law of the land, I've been an adult since 21. So what are they saying? However, when you have the tools, it's easier to have a better conversation that would be respected and hopefully listened to. So what are the questions? The first thing is it true? Is it true? This thing you're about to say, is it true? You have to teach them to not manufacture lies because they perform better and will lie. If you want to go viral on social media, I know how to go viral on social media. Like if I want to go viral today, I know what I need to say. And when you go and look at my video, that video I'm talking about at 100K, when I saw the opening line, they took it from the middle of my speech and put it at the beginning of the video. And I knew that that's why it was going live. A lot of people can relate to me saying, oh, this, and this, and this. People can relate. It's a personal thing that a lot of people can relate to. It will go viral. Can I apply the same thing on my own page? Yes, I can. Why don't I do it? Because it is not relevant to what I do as a business and communication coach. I can't go viral for personal stories and challenges every time. And then I'm using that page to sell courses and consultation. If I'm going to use my sub story to go viral, who's going to take me serious enough to buy what I'm selling? And then some people will manufacture lies, and they do it a lot. You see a lot of people crying on social media, crying to say that, oh, my assistant have carried my money away. Some of them are actually lying. Hey, I'm not selling anything. Oh, please help me. Oh, I borrowed money. Most of them are lying. They know what they're doing. Because sub stories go viral, a lot of people are using it. Well, is it ethical? No. So if you are going to raise children who will be disruptive, you need to raise children who will know that, yes, it will take me a long time to get to 100K followers, but I'm going to stick to my values. So you want to ask them, this thing you are posting, is it true? And it's not true, but everybody's doing that bad. I raise you upon the value of honesty. And but this social media, everybody's living fake life. Abba. Even if it is fake social media, even everybody's living fake life, you have a that will come back to haunt you. Well, why Kevin Hart couldn't host the Oscars a couple of years back. He lost touch. He lost. Sorry, I'm back. I don't know. Something happened and it threw me out. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Welcome back.
So I was saying that the first question you ask your children that, is it true? Don't spread information simply because it is trending. Don't post, don't join a trend. Don't jump on a trend because it is happening. There's somebody who also went viral on social media from my community that I evicted from the business community last month. Was it last month? I think early last month. I evicted her from the community because she went viral with something that was scandalous. And it was, for me, of course, beneath a Muslim woman, especially one in hijab, to be found with such a thing. Crying on social media, you're holding a bra, you are calling out respected shuyuk. It was just, And when I evicted her, a couple of people came and said, oh, she's sorry. I said, she's not sorry. She knows why she did what she did. And we looked at that page and saw that the page had grown by more than 2,000 followers within the week. And I knew that girl is she will come back and do something again. And after everybody in our local government has begged all those people she offended, last week again, somebody sent me a video. That video, she deleted it. And then she's back again saying she's going to do a 30-day series. She knows what she's doing. She knows that a lot of people get followers by disruption, nonsense behavior that are disruptive. And she decided that she's tired of being patient, doing the right thing. She's just going to do what everybody does. And unfortunately, that doesn't align with me. Some of the things she's saying, is it true? The people she called out are saying it is not true. But she's saying, oh, I want to tell my part. I want to tell my part. She knows what she's doing. Because social media doesn't care whether it's true or not. If it is scandalous, they are there. Why is that so? Because everybody is using social media to escape life. Practically everybody is doom scrolling to escape life. So of course, it doesn't matter to them whether it's true. It is tantalizing that they like. If the gist is tantalizing, they are there. In Yoruba, I will tell people that when you like your it is tantalizing. You know why? Because it deflects away from them. My life is already hard. It's good to know that somebody's life is harder. So, was the same reason all of us like Super Story. Now, we have a dopamine rush because there's Super Story in front on our phone 24 hours now. There's somebody doing one mumuting or the other that tantalizes us. And so, you need to ask your children, is it true? Then the next question after, is it true? Perhaps it is true, but is it good? Because some things are true, but is it good? There was a day that something happened. I don't know who triggered me. Triggered my emotion, and I just went to rant. And it was something about the men in my family, and all of us have them. We all have dysfunctional. Well, let me speak for myself. There's dysfunctionality in my extended family, and something happened. And if you're a fighter of good like me, like this, and I just got triggered. I was like, kilo day, why are men like this? Blah, 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 blah. Well, it's a private family matter. But I was too in my feelings to check myself. Now, is it the truth? Yes. Is it good for even me, for people to know that my family has this dysfunction? No. That's how my brothers will not be able to marry now, because they will read my story on the status and say that in their family, they don't treat their women well. But it's not like my brothers don't treat their women well. It's my all kuzo. But I was too in my feelings to know that this can have a ripple effect beyond just ranting on social media. And so when my dad, I don't know whether it was my dad or somebody who made a comment, and I'm like, okay, wait. Why was I ranting on social media? Why was I sharing? Well, I wanted to share because I know other women have the story. Okay, but is it good for my own digital footprint in the long run? Perhaps other people will relate. But am I their therapist? Why have I shared it? To what good? To what end have I shared it? I just needed to rant. Okay, is social media my therapist? So some things can be true, but is it good? Because not everything that gets attention deserves your attention. Not everything that gets attention deserves other people's attention. When people come to me and say, oh, I don't want to use social media because I don't want to be sharing my personal stuff, I say, you get to decide what to share. Most of us end up sharing personal stuff because we don't have personal boundaries. If you're comfortable with it, you don't share it. Somebody in a bind, you don't share it. Everything you can create should be created. And this is not just a reminder for your children alone. It's also a reminder for us that are creators as parents. And beyond just being creators, now that your children are growing old and they're older and they're having their own sense of self. My son, that's how he had rashes in his bum in front of parents that can most likely be your in-laws. You're already telling them your son has bum rash now. If nobody wants to marry your son because he probably have rash, you will now say it is evil eye, but it is you. And so this is also a reminder for us too, because they see the best way to teach our children is to model these behaviors. So not everything you can create should be created. That's what you want to teach. Yes, it is okay to be a creator, to share, but is it good? For those of us that are Muslim, the way that I used to say it is that speak good or keep quiet. If it is not good, then keep quiet. What determines whether it is good? Is it impactful? Will it enjoy other people upon goodness? Would it add value to their lives? But if it is just talk, then keep quiet. If it's talk that can harm someone, then keep quiet. So that's the second question. The next question is it necessary? I say just because you know what to say doesn't mean you should say it. Doesn't mean it should be said. You must know how to say it, when to say it, should it be said at all. And that is a value you want to teach to your children, especially those of them who want to create. And it's not even those of them, all of them are going to one way or the other become creators anyway. So you don't have to comment on everything on social media. Some people will come and say, Assistant Chad, I caught an Igbo girl. Under this post, bah, I can an Igbo girl be called on that Bobrisky gist. And that's the way we police ourselves in our communities. We police ourselves. And I know many of those women, they want to choke their mouths there, but system chat catch us. There are a lot of things I want to comment on that I have an opinion on, but I have trained myself to hold my opinion. So what's come was I'll copy the link of that post, take it to my friends group. We have a friend WhatsApp group, and then go and share my comment there. And then everybody will comment it. But that I will leave a comment somewhere. And then somebody will say, hey, Sister Mutiat, I always see a comment on all those musician gists. That's not good for my business. Is it necessary? How do I determine whether it's necessary? For me, it's usually, does it promote my brand and what I stand for? No. So it's none of my business what Liz Anjorin and Yabo Joe are fighting about this week. It doesn't concern me. You don't have to participate in every trend. You don't have to turn every private experience into a public content. I think there's a deficiency, or should we say a pandemic of a deficiency of shame now. Everybody's sharing everything. Why are you kissing your brother and you need to share it on social media? Why do we need to know your family? Why? Everybody's sharing everything now. Everything now. We need to bring back shame. That's what people say now. We need to bring back shame. But you see, the reason those people can do that is because while they were growing up, there was nobody telling them, keep quiet. It's not everything you say. And it is a shame that the children we are raising today are not being raised with similar values. Many of us allow our children to just talk. And it started in the early 2000s and late 2010s when these children are talking, she's very smart. Just because a child is talkative doesn't mean she's smart. Smart and talkative is different. I was a very talkative toddler. I am a smart adult. I'm book smart, I'm sense smart, I'm life smart, self-aware smart. But I will tell you for a fact that talk wasn't smart at all. In fact, however smart your child is, and the child doesn't know when to keep quiet, that's not smart at all. Discernment is a form of intelligence. It's not something toddlers are born with. I was teaching a class and someone said, oh, what do I do with cognitive hijack? And I was like, what's cognitive hijack? Said, in emotional intelligence, cognitive hijack is when you say something before, even though you want it. I said, why are you giving it a fancy name? You talk on impulse without checking yourself. You are acting, and that's is a problem. That let's stop romanticizing bad character. The only people that should have cognitive hijack or whatever you call it are toddlers because they don't have sense. They are still interning adults. They are still learning the way. Don't talk when adults is talking. Now we live in a world where 10-year-olds are going to be hovering around adults when they are talking. And your 10-year-old will also be putting his mouth. How do I say? How do you say putting his mouth in and be part of our conversation? We have a culture that put children in their place. No, yes, we're not saying quiet them. I don't want you to raise children who are afraid to speak up. But I do want you to raise children who have the discernment to know when to speak up. And I think because we have forgotten the difference between the two is why people come to social media and say, story time, my grandmother is pregnant. Why should you announce on social media that your grandmother is pregnant? Now, the whole comment section is filled with who impregnated your 70-year-old grandmother. Not only did she say her grandmother is pregnant, she even did a video of herself with the grandmother in the ward. That's the world we live in, because now everything is entertainment. Everybody's looking for attention. For her to announcing to all of us that grandmother is pregnant, and this is how it happened. So wisdom, knowing when not to speak, when not to share. And that this conversation will lead to a lot of other things about positive attention, teaching children to not seek external validation and seeing going viral, so etc, etc. But we don't have the time. But they come and chase me away. Number 4 is it responsible? Because it could be true, it could be good, somebody could learn from it. It could be necessary because somebody could learn from it. But if somebody came and said, story time, my neighbor's grandmother is pregnant, is one thing. That one is just ofofo. But you grandmother, your family would rather keep quiet. So we want to teach your children that side of their screen. Is it responsible?
Hello, Coach Mutiat. You're muted.
Sorry. So
It's
I'm even so tired like this. I don't know where I stop sick. Also, issue problem though. So and I saw that I was responding to people. Apparently that week on Facebook that year, I was trending. I did not know. People were writing content about feminists, telling people not to cook. I did not know that it was me they were talking about. And what happened? One brother wrote, he said, you know how to cook, you know how to read the Quran, but you don't know how to cook. Who will love you? Maybe I should have been minding my business and just leave them alone. That's why I said, who will love her? Bao? What do you mean? If she can't cook, not knowing to cook is not a sin. She can always learn to cook. Love is not hard like that. Why will you say such a? I knew they were dragging somebody. I knew. And I've always been against shaming dawa. That's what I call it. Shaming dawa. Shame other people to correct. I'm not a fan of it. We don't have to shame people to correct them. For you now, you are correcting them, but somebody's self-concept is being damaged by that. So instead of me to just go away, that's why I went to go and write article. I wanted to respond under the post, and the post refreshed, and I didn't see it. And I'm like, oh, that brother that wrote this, you can't write this, so you can't shame people. We are Muslims, so people are love for Allah's sake. I just wrote it, so thinking that I was talking to a group of intellectuals. Don't let me say anything. That's how all of them started to carry it like Igbo Tio for 1 week. All the popular people, if I mention all those people that dragged me, think about all those popular writers on Facebook, book one off for 1 whole week. And because me, I don't care. I don't used to think that everybody writing something is talking about me. So every time I see a post, I'll be like, well, kill our feminists to share for Allah say, I can't be feminist. How did I know they were talking about me? One of my friends called and said, Amuti. But what did you write on Facebook? Or somebody just called me now that I should stop being your friend, that you are a feminist. I said, my friend since university. Can they go and meet my friend to stop being my friend? Were they there when we were friending since 2004? Why would they say that? Friendship that I've been managing for 15 years. Anyway, that's when it occurred to me. And I'm like, okay, it's not even enough that you people are dragging me. You need to be telling my friends to not befriend me again. So I wrote an epistle. Now, for me, I still maintain that I wasn't wrong to insist that if we must correct responsibly. Because some of the things we are writing hurt people. People come to say, those of you that are not married at old age, at 40 like this, you will not have children. Who are you to say that? Do you know whose hope you have dashed by just saying that? And they just say it carelessly. Just because you think so doesn't mean it should be said. Just because it happens to someone doesn't mean you should now announce it as if it is. You must be careful. Because what you think is content is you have dashed somebody's hope, somebody's faith has been dashed from your own content. And we cannot have that. And lastly, very important, you must teach your children to ask themselves, does it represent who I want to become? But it's okay to be following trends in 2026. But in 2030, 2036, if we bring out this post, do you still want to stand by it? Like all those brothers that used to do Haro when we were in the university, some of them are still doing Haro on Twitter now. Some of them, when you remind them of what they used to do, they will be so ashamed of it. Some of them will even lie that they don't used to do it. You know how most parents used to tell us, I was one that came first when I was in school. It's all the parents that came first when they were in school. Who were the parents that were coming last? We will never know. So you tell your children that this may be the most important question of all the questions you're going to ask. Because every time you create something publicly, you are leaving a digital footprint. You are not only influencing other people, you are also becoming that thing. You are building an identity for yourself. You are building a brand for yourself. You will be known for this. You will be treated with the eye of, how do I say, people will look at you from those contents. And you can come back and say, sorry, I have changed. But how many people will see that I have changed post? So these are the 5 questions that are key for you to teach to your children if you truly want to disrupt content the way it's being done, for them to become creators who create ethically. Is it true? Is it good? Is it necessary? Is it responsible? Does it represent who I want to become? It's not about, remember the child of who you are. We're asking you, because some of them will say, I just want to be myself. Because see what Allah. Does this represent the self that you want to be? Do you want to be known as this person? Because if you say, remember me are your parents, they will say, did you have social media at your own age? No problem. You have it at your age. Do you want this to be a representation of who you are? And lastly, we must armor that there's a danger with chasing virality. Because I think many of the unethical content online are done because people want to go viral. And you will notice they will tag Tunde Ednut. The moment you see them tagging Tunde Ednut, tagging, who else do they tag? Niger blog, Insta blog Niger, you already know that they intentionally created the content and they are hoping to go viral. Young people need to understand that virality is not the same as success. There's so many people whose businesses have gone viral that did not sell Shingbai, and I say that. And then there are those of us that don't even have up to the followers that they have, and our entire business marketing is 98% on social media, and we're building 8-figure profit business. And I say that in all sincerity because it's the truth. A video can get 1 million views and had very little value to the world, or even to you, the creator. And another person's work can help 50 people change their lives and never go viral. And I like to speak for myself. I don't go viral a lot. The only thing I've gone viral for is to be a feminist, and I'm not even a feminist. Some people just assume that if you're a Muslim woman or you are a woman that is empowering other women, you have to be feminist, which is not true. But then again, it is the world that we live in. So I've never gone viral before, but I think I have more clout and I've built more impact than a lot of people with viral posts. So what is most important, and we must teach our children, is not to seek the attention of plenty people. In fact, let me tell you, going viral is hard. Dealing with the ripple effect of going viral is hard. Go and ask so many of them. There was a guy crying a couple of months back about how going viral spoiled his life. He didn't make money from it, and now people assume that he has money, and nobody's helping him. And another thing that the pressure is too much. How many 100,000 views did that video get? Do you know me? All my DMs, there are people asking for help. Somebody will say, I want to commit suicide. Please help me. I'm not a trauma coach. I'm not a trauma therapist. Why are you coming to me? Because I did a podcast about how I am living my best life despite my trial. Doesn't mean that I am in the capacity to help you. Don't commit suicide though. And many of these sub-stories are lies. People will you dealing with popularity. I mean, for someone who's been popular for a while, even though it's not like I go viral, but I've been popular for a while. It is not easy building a business and then having half of Lagos, half of the conservative Muslims in Lagos turning against me for doing something that they feel is against their values. For what? Now, who did I offend? It's not easy to be popular. It comes with responsibility. It comes with enemies. It comes with emotional stuff that so many of your children are not wired to deal with. And that's why young adults are doing drugs, people are just depressed because the attention is a lot. Fame is heavy. It is heavy and it is lonely. And I will tell you, for somebody who's not the most famous person, but it is lonely. Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. I told my friends this year, you don't get how it hurts to be dealing with this much attention and negative publicity. Nobody gets it. So let's teach children to not chase it. If it comes to you, perhaps you have how to deal with it, but do not chase it. So in the world that we live in, we need to teach young people to stop measuring everything by visibility. There's so much goodness to measure their growth with. That visibility is not enough. For me, I know for sure, if I say I want to make 20 million profit in a year and I do the work, go viral or no go viral, I still do. Even in a hard year, I still achieve all the money and sales goals that I set for my business. And it tells me that going viral is not the only way. With that, just focus on your target audience and you get results. So I think I should start wrapping up now. Don't just protect your children from the internet, give them principles. And that's the point of what I've been saying. We are not just protecting them from the internet. They are also the internet. They're going to be part of the internet. We need to give them principles so when they have the power to influence the internet, they can do impact. And other people are not protecting their children from them. So let's teach our children integrity, to do the right thing even when it costs you, responsibility, to understand that your actions have consequences, empathy. Remember that people are not content or objects. So you won't see someone fainting on the road and then you are bringing your phone out, which is what the world has become now. Somebody is hurting, and instead of someone to reach out and help, everybody's trying to record for social media. Everybody's going live on TikTok with somebody's pain. We must also encourage them to have excellence, to not put their name on work. Do not put your name on work you know is poor, just because there's money in it. They must be courageous, because to hold your values, holding on to your value it takes courage. It takes courage, even in religious circles, some people will still look at you like your wala is too much. Are you the holiest? Takes courage. Of course, I have talked about discernment before. Not every opportunity is a good opportunity. Self-control. You don't have to act on every impulse. You shouldn't act on every impulse. And finally, service. Your gift is not only for you. All of these, I want you to screenshot it, and you can see that I did my slide as if I'm talking to your children, because I'm thinking if you screenshot this, you could share it with your kids, and you could pass it on. I was also thinking some of the kids will be here too, so that I explain it to you, you can lift it to them. So the real disruption, and perhaps the greatest disruption that we can raise young people to create, is not just technological, it is personal. And that's what this conversation has been in over an hour since I started. So let's imagine a generation that refuses to cheat because everybody's cheats, bully because everybody's doing it, lie because everybody's lying, a generation that doesn't copy because doing original takes time. They don't chase attention at the expense of dignity, sacrifice, they don't chase attention at the expense of dignity. They don't sacrifice value for money and sacrifice their character for popularity. Don't let us imagine it. Let us raise those children. Imagine young people who say, I will create differently. I will lead differently. I will build with integrity. I will use my influence responsibly. I will leave people better than I found them. That is the disruption in the world that we live in today. Because as normal as you think this is, it is rare to find now. Everybody's just doing anyhow. A note of caution. Just because we want to disrupt doesn't mean we should destroy other people. You see that I haven't talked bad about any of those people I've mentioned their name today. I haven't said any bad thing. I haven't abused them. I haven't shamed them. When I mentioned Stella, Bobrisky, did you see me say any bad thing about them? No. I just left whatever thing you think, we young people should not be afraid to challenge the status quo. They should ask questions, challenge outdated system, think differently, experiment, build, and innovate. However, you don't have to destroy something to prove that you're different. I didn't have to destroy their character to show you that they're bad people. They're not bad people. They're just they're just living the world the way from the way they were raised, or the exposure that they have, or what they're feeding the machine, what the machine wants to be fed. People like Roborebe, and they're giving it to them. If Roborebe stop going viral, I'm sure they will find a way to do better. So just as I have gently talked about all of these people and all of these things, I want you to also raise children who understand to speak good or keep quiet. To disrupt doesn't mean they should destroy. Once I was on one group one year, and one young man was going to write to parents about how their so-called religious children have started kissing or doing some things behind them. And this guy wrote probably one of the rudest articles I've ever read. I mean, this is a young man that wants to talk to parents. And then he was so condescending in the way he talked to those parents and the children. And I remember saying that, okay, I'm sure that this guy meant well, but this article is not well written. This article is alarmist. It's blaming parents for raising all of children. When you start an article like, oh, you people think your children are good. You think you have raised Afis. Your children are doing rubbish. Your children, it was just, it was just rude. It was an article that was written, but it was written like someone who you will know this person is used to blaming other people and just talking anyhow. And I made a comment. And all of us, I think everybody was waiting for the first person to talk. Everybody probably read it and he kept quiet. And I said, this is rude. And if this person intended to correct, no, this is not how you go about correction. And I said, and then everybody started to chime in. And do you know what? 2 days later, the father, who's a very popular sheikh in Lagos, responded to us. And in his response, he said, Yeah, he knows that the article was written somehow, but we should focus on what he's trying to teach. We cannot focus on what he's trying to teach because he has just destroyed our self-concept by telling us the way he wrote it as if he's shouting at us that all our children are doing nonsense. That's not how to correct. You can't tell people to focus on the message. The carrier of the message is key too. So that's because you want to disrupt and you want to make impact. You don't have to destroy. You don't have to destroy something to write it. It's like you want to clean the house. You are trying to clean the house, but you've broken 3 lamps in a house. Oh, this house is too dirty. And then you are throwing the lamps, throwing everything just to clear it. At the end of the day, I'm not going to appreciate that you've helped me clean my house because you've literally destroyed priceless lamps. And so we want to teach our children that the best disruptor don't just say it is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Most people know how to say this is bad. But show us a better way. They don't know. They should say, this is a better way to do things. Show people a better way. You don't even need to even mention that bad way. That is bad. Just be showing them the better way. And that's called constructive disruption. So we're teaching children who can give constructive feedback, constructive criticism, ethical disruption, because while we are trying to correct something, we don't want to break people or break spirit. We just want to do our best to ensure that we do it carefully. It takes discernment and a lot of wisdom. May God make it easy for all of us. In conclusion, parents, our children will inherit a world that we cannot completely predict. We cannot prepare them for every technology. We cannot anticipate every trend. We cannot monitor every conversation or control everything they will encounter. But we can give them something infinitely more powerful. We can give them character. We can teach them to think, discern, create, and take responsibility. Most importantly, we can teach them that influence is a trust and that true greatness is not simply about being seen, it is about being useful. So to the teenagers that are here, not just aim to become someone people know. Take it from somebody that people know. It is hard work. It is hard work to enter every room and somebody say, "Oh, I think I know you." It's not the cake you think it is. Become someone whose work people genuinely need. Instead of just chasing followers, build something worth following. Do not just create content, create value. And do not just disrupt with purpose. Rather than asking, how can I change the world? Start with what can I create today that makes my little corner of the world better. So help you, God. Thank you. And that's all from me tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for your attention. I hope you found this useful, and I pray that you find it beneficial beyond now. And yeah, that's that. Thank you to the team at Parenting Summit for having me. As always, it's such an honor to do this with you again. I pray that God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you so very much, Coach Mutiat. To disrupt doesn't have to be to destroy, and do not just disrupt, but disrupt with good purpose. Thank you so much for giving us so many nuggets. The last almost 90 minutes has been a very impactful one. It's been packed back to back with witty examples. We laughed, we oohed, we add, we owned. Some of us even dropped crying emojis, but we certainly did learn, and we are certainly going back with a lot of educational content that we can take back home for our teens and our children. We're super grateful to you for sharing with us your knowledge, your skills, your experiences, and everything else that makes you the queen of awesomeness. Dear parents, can we please in the chat box we want to see the thank you to Coach Mutia. She has to have enough thank you for the next 4 years so that when she opens her can of thank yous, she will be like, oh, I have enough for the next 4 times 12 months. We need to give her as many as possible. Yes, certainly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coach Musiat. We'll take questions very quickly, but before we do so, would like to quickly do 2 to 3 announcements to also. The first is to send an unreserved apology from Dr. Ogumuyiwa. He's not engagement that took him away from this call, saying, please pardon him and pardon us for not being able to have him on the call today. However, he has sent his recording and will be sharing that with everyone on the registered PTS parents group. Again, thank you so much for your understanding, and we're really sorry that we couldn't have Dr. Ogumuyiwa yet today. The second is that we're going to be having the virtual village tomorrow at the same 7:30 p.m. In case you're wondering what the virtual village means, it simply means that it is going to be a forum where all the speakers you've listened to from Monday till now, including the teens, is going to be a roundtable conversation. You can bring your questions and have it answered tomorrow. The teen session will not be holding tomorrow, but the virtual village will start by 7:30 p.m. God willing, and we would answer any questions that you have. It is literally a session for you and your teens. Your teens are welcome to join. So if you want to join with your teens and your children, it is totally fine. If you want to come alone, it's also fine, but we encourage you to come with your teens so that if they also have questions, you can also their coaches will be around to answer those questions tomorrow, and then everybody's questions will be fully attended to. So we're going to have that for at least an hour. So we want to invite you to please make it a date with us tomorrow. So based off on that, just also remind you again that of course we're going to be meeting in person on Saturday at Ikeja. So please make sure you have purchased your tickets. If you haven't purchased it by now, please make sure you purchase it like tonight, because the seats are fast filling up and we have only a few more seats left before we have a fully booked hall. So I would like to take questions now. For those of us who want to ask Coach Mutiat questions, please raise your hand. Use the raise hand feature so that we can identify you and we can also call you, and sequentially we can take the questions. I would go through the
Let's quickly do
participants now and see anyone whose hand is raised. If you feel more comfortable putting it in the chat box, that is totally fine. If you're more comfortable putting it in the chat box, that's totally fine. But if you would rather unmute your mic and speak, please raise your hand so that we can call you. I'm checking for
Sister Mariam, please, we want to quickly do some adverts before the questions.
Already. We're sold out already, parents. We are sold out already, so we don't have any more slots. Thank you so much, Barakat. All right, so we would look for the questions. We have only a short period to take questions, please. So if you have questions, please put it in the chat box or raise your hand so that we can call you. While we're waiting for that, please, admin, can you quickly share a video or two
200 naira,
of our
300 naira. Mama Nkechi, oya take.
Wetin I wan carry 300 naira do?
Mama Nkechi, every day me and you go comot house go hustle for market. If anything do us, who go dey our back?
So na 300 naira one day our back.
You never hear of Goxi Micro Insurance, the first licensed specialized micro insurance company for Nigeria, where they give cheap insurance cover with as low as 300 naira. Goxi Micro Insurance get insurance products like Goxi Cooperative Welfare Scheme, Goxi My Business, Goxi Agric Loan Protection, and others wey go give us peace of mind.
Oya, make we start now.
Goxi Micro Insurance no dey give loan, but we go help you carry your wahala with our insurance package.
For more information, make you visit them office for Edward and Valeria Plaza, 107 Obafemi Awolowo Way, Ikeja, or make you call 0802-314-0939 and 0815-287-9591. Terms and conditions dey. Goxi Micro Insurance. Small money, big help.
10 years ago, we opened our doors to children from everywhere. What was our intention? To equip minds with beneficial knowledge. We started with just about 13 children, and today we're over a decade and still growing strong.
One thing I'm proud of is our commitment to quality education. Most of our teachers hold bachelor degree in education, while others obtain postgraduate diploma in education to ensure they are professionally qualified teachers.
So GPS, Guided Path Private School, it represents care, it represents safety, it represents a place of learning where they grow academically, they grow morally, they grow spiritually, and that has been the intention from the word go. The motto of the school is equipping minds with beneficial knowledge. Guided Path School is an Islamic school.
It's been an amazing experience. My son has learned a lot. He loves school, loves his teachers, he loves director a lot, and I want to continue to say big kudos.
We make sure that your child goes through all they need to know in their various milestones. So in the early years, before they come into the primary section, which is the key stages, we make sure that they go through the paces, know how to read, know how to write, know how to conduct themselves. So we look forward to your children benefiting from the experience we represent. Bi-idhnillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, summer's coming.
Okay, thank you so much, technical team. We don't have any questions, Coach Mutiat. You did a fantastic job. That is what this is telling us. You have nailed it to the T. And every single parent here has taken home more than enough, and they are deeply grateful to you for your expertise and for your knowledge. There's a saying that says that when there are no questions, it means everybody fully understood. So you delivered, ate, and left no crumbs. Thank you so much for giving us such a succinct lecture. Thank you so much for breaking down this so clearly, such that we couldn't even afford to ask you any questions. We want to say thank you. We pray that God will continue to bless and uplift you, and everything that you do will be successful. Thank you so much.
I mean, thank you for having me. Good night, everyone.
Good night. And to everyone else, we want to say thank you. We'll see you tomorrow at the virtual village. Please remember to make it a date at 7:30 p.m. and come with your teens and come with your questions. The speakers and the coaches all through this week will be there to answer you as much as possible. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night, everyone, and have a lovely night rest. Bye-bye.
While your child is living their best life over the summer vacation, they're actually forgetting everything they learned in school. Well, not everything. Over the 9 months of the school year, your child learns all kinds of things. But over the summer, children on average lose about 2.5 months worth of that learning. That's almost 30% of what they learned. And that's just when it comes to math. Think about all the other things they're forgetting. This is what we call summer brain drain. And we have just a solution. At Brain Ability Place, we keep your children engaged over the summer and turn that brain drain into brain gain. Through fun and engaging brain training exercises, we help make sure that your child is ahead of the curve going into the next school year. These exercises can be done one-on-one at our center or online from wherever your summer travels may take you. Our cognitive skill training strategy will help your child improve their higher thinking ability, focus, and memory. We can do all this while still leaving more than enough time for your child to live their best life over the summer. Visit our website to get in touch to learn more and find out if Brain Ability Place is the right solution for your child.
The money when I wake up, got the energy on 100. And you know we got the vibe, and you know we got the ginger. Make you dance and enter the groove. So salty, so smooth. And when it's time to get the fun started, go on and give me my soul. Sound so refreshing. Me and my guys are chilling. Oh, what I feeling. So smooth, that's my soul. Sound so refreshing. Me and my guys are chilling. Oh, what I feeling. So smooth, that's my soul.
Sosa fruit drink. So smooth. Available in 35 cl and 1 liter.
Welcome to Debo Africa, modern healthcare built by women for women. We get it. Life can be hectic and unpredictable. We know what it's like to push back a much needed health check for months because of family or work or because you just haven't found the right healthcare providers. Debo Africa was founded by African women because we understand the unique needs and challenges they face, and we believe that all African women deserve access to better healthcare, no matter who we are. With our virtual medical consultations, we have bridged the gap between your busy life and your healthcare. At Debo Africa, you can easily access expert medical advice from our community of Debo doctors whenever you need it, without compromising on the quality of care. Join us on our mission to empower African women and transform healthcare.